you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the southwest section of the map, ending with Team 2 in the northeast. I am probably going to flip-flop the names because I'm used to Team 1 being in the north and Team 2 being in the south, but bear with me as I keep track of everyone. And I'm going to slow it down just a little bit so we don't miss any of that early action. Starting off with the southeasternmost player on Team 1, we have the Regal Purple player of Colboni going first, land as a Cybern. He is an 1100, and again, he's going first. Land to his northwest in Emerald Green. We have the UEF player of RNA going first. Land, he is a 1700, the highest rated player on Team 1, and tied for the highest rated player overall. In the southwest here in Batman Gray, we have Chicken Trahan going as a UEF as well. He is a 1500 going first. Land, he's most likely going second air because he is in the rear guard. And another rear guard player here for Team 1, it is HTTP. Usually you see S at the end of that. Sometimes you don't, just depends. Going first, Land, he is a Cybern. He is a 1200, and maybe he'll log on to a website or two. To his east in lightest red pink, we have Martin H333 or EEE, depending on how you read lead speech, going first. Land second, land as well. He is a UEF, and he is a 1300. And last but not least, at 14-1 on the northwest side of things in ruby red, we have the Cybern player of Wuka going first. Land, he is a 1500. So for Team 1 side of things, they have 3 Cybern and 3 UEF, no access to Aeon or Seraphim technology. In the southeast section of Team 2's lineup, it is the first player to be introduced on his team. It is Snow White player of BJ going first, Land second, Navy as well. He is a 1000 rated player. And again, he is in Snow White. And can someone please fix the visual glitch? I would greatly appreciate it. To his northwest is a Cybern player of Godzilla Potato. He's going first, land in Tropical Ocean Blue. And he is the highest rated player on his team and tied for the highest rated player with RNA on Team 1 at 1700 rating. And in the rear guard here in Stitch Blue, we have Signal Runner going first there as a Cybern as well. He is a 1400, and again, he's going first air. In the northwest, the first different faction other than Cybern and UEF, it is a Seraphim player of Touch My Berries going first. Land, he is in Light Oak Tan, and he is a 1500, building a ton of T1P gens. To his southwest in orange, the color orange instead of orange, the fruit orange, we have Obesty. Oh, I think I'll call him OBSTY. I don't know, obesity, maybe that's how you say it, going first. Land. I was trying to read it without the vowels there. He is a UEF. He is a 1000 rated player, and again, he's going first. Land. And in the northwest here for Team 2, it is Maximus Triple X. He is going first, land as an Aeon. So all of the races do make an appearance here in this game. He is going in the color rust, and he is a 1600. So for Team 2 side of things, they have 1 UEF. Sorry, not 1 UEF. They have 2 UEF, 2 Cybern, and 1 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim. So a double major in Cybern and UEF tech. Let us take a look at the reclaim here. Is currently still on the map. We have 11,000. If we just round that up to 12,000 just to make the math a little bit easier, it is essentially a little bit under 1,000 mass per player because there are 12 players in this game. Not a lot, but not a little bit. So it's definitely worth trying to be a little bit aggressive and trying to either steal or just secure the reclaim on their sides of the map. And let's take a look at mass point layouts. There is nothing here in this southeast corner except for just some water. We can see that both players are making their way to the cliffside. One of them has started the UEF naval facility here for BJ. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cybern faction one be built here pretty soon. There is a Trimex here on this lower plateau section that both of these players will probably be fighting over. You can get to that with the float technology of the engineers, and he's going for frigate, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe just do a transport over, or maybe somebody else will do that. Another Trimex position up front, another Trimex, and another Trimex. Not a lot of mexes to really fight over in the middle. I'd say these two, pretty much one player will get both of those. I had it out both teams will share one. It's kind of the similar story down south, except they're a little bit further apart. But I, again, still wouldn't be surprised if this is really the hotbed of contention, at least in this northwest corner, between Maximus Triple X and Wuka. Both will get that Trimex position, and they'll just fight over those four. And maybe we'll see some action on this northwestern side of a couple of these hills or mountains or whatever the heck they're going to be called, with a couple of mexes. There are a couple of rocks here, so it might be worth going after. But besides that, there's not really a whole lot to fight over. I see that more and more in cast. It's just there's not a lot for players to fight over in the middle in terms of mass. There are those rare occasions where there's just a ton of mass points to just fight everywhere, but for the most part, is Team 1 gets theirs, Team 2 gets theirs, and then maybe there's a couple to fight over, and that's it. We do see an early T1 assault bot outbound here from Maximus Triple X in the north, going after those T1 mexes. Will grab one of those. Looks like it may have already killed off an engineer. If that's a dead engineer, there is a mole and a hunter nearby, and that flare has taken some hits. That flare at 82 mass killed. It'll be one more shot into that T1 Mechs, and we'll kill it off. Unfortunately, the flare moves out of range. We'll try to go after a T1 engineer and does not end up getting the kill. So that hunter ends up killing the flare. A little bit of damage. Of course, there was a engineer kill, but that's really about it. Not a lot of harass, but just a tiny bit is always infuriating. T1 bomber out here from Godzilla Potato going after engineers. Will drop on top of that engineer. Will kill it off and will prevent the construction of that T1 Mechs here for RNA. It does look like that bomber is going to keep going. I will speed it up back to 0 so we don't just sit here and focus on this T1 bomber for 30 minutes. He's going to turn around. Pings do go down to say, hey, there's a thing nearby. You should probably go after it. T1 air facility online producing a, I think it's an air scout based on the sim. Yeah, it's an air scout. And then he'll build some interceptors. It will be a little bit before that bomber is dealt with, but not too long. Counter bomber is coming online, so both of those high-rated players doing the exact same play, except Team 2's Godzilla Potato got a little bit further ahead in that attack. We do see Team 1 frigate inbound here for 2 facilities being constructed here for Cole Vonai. Will not be able to say his name. I'll probably call him Cole for short. And again, T1 frigate versus a couple of T1 facilities. It will take a minute to chew through those. And, of course, being the Cybern Tech, they have passive regen. So even if he does some damage, it won't last super long. It does do some, but not a lot. Upgrades here in the northwest. Going down here for Wuka, for Martin, and for Obesity. We do see HTTP nearby, but isn't going for an upgrade as of right now. We do see more bombers are coming online, but doesn't look like both of these high-rated players to focus on them too much. And it doesn't even look like that bomber outbound from RNA really did anything that I can see. We are starting to see a little bit of T1 buildup here in the northwest for both of these orange players from Team 2. And I will shout out to the fact that for the most part, all the red players are on one team, all the orange players are on one team, all the blue players are on another. Like, they're all... and not essentially color-coordinated, but they're essentially color-coordinated. When you have a pink player facing another pink player, especially with lightest red pink and hot pink, they look very similar. And so I end up like mixing who is who. Then with the green. The greens aren't that bad, but it is nice visually speaking when you have one team is more, for the most part, a darker color, and one team for the most part is a lighter color. There are some exceptions. But for the most part, it's essentially light versus dark. So make your predictions in that regard. That frigate is still down here hanging out. Skill 224 mass, essentially all in engineers. And Team 1's Cole has produced his own Trident class. Maybe he's waiting for the sub to be built. And in the northeast, we see more facilities going down for BJ. We might see a decent naval fight here pretty soon. And there is a pond in the middle. Somebody... somewhere is thinking, oh, you should probably put T2 cruisers in that mix. And I would say that would be a good idea. Someone just has to do that, but that would be a good idea. I don't think that'll happen right now. You'd have to essentially hide it over here. I think the distance build should be able to get to that. So we will see. There are tiny pockets of water in the northwest for a Commer 2 to hide in. But it does look like Team 2's Maximus has claimed the northwest corner for himself. We do have a 2v1 scenario over that, and we even have, of course, Martin can come and assist with his gun upgrade. Wuka's upgrade has taken a while. Maybe he's focused on other projects back in base. But with HTTP on the front lines and soon to be that gun comm of Wuka, these Team 1 forces aren't really a lot to be, they don't have a lot of firepower against them. Maximus XXX has range. He'll go for speed next. Most likely we'll see advanced range. Speed and range going down here for Godzilla. RNA does have T2. He is UEF. That would make sense going after either the Reclaim and some PD. We do see a couple of Mantis, and they should be scooping up some of that Reclaim. They have engineering suites on board, so they could do that. But he's probably focused on other things. Team 1 sub here from the purple player of Cole, just harassing these frigates, constantly annoying them. I wouldn't be surprised to see, yep, there are subs being built for BJ in response. And having 5 engineers on screen isn't that bad of a visual glitch. It's worse when there's like 5 items on my screen, but 1 isn't terrible. It's only annoying when I can't really see some of the details on a comm or a unit, whatever the case may be. So it's more frustrating, but we do see the first comm-on-comm action here between both teams. Martin going after the comm of Obesity. Both are UEF, 1 producing a T2 Triad, TPD, and T1 tanks and other units are coming in to force Martin either in the water, which he can gain access to. It looks very weird at that angle. But there are units coming in from Martin as well, and this is going to push Obesity back, trying to spam up T1 PD for defense. That gets taken out very quickly and gets a couple of tanks with that overcharge. Great shot inbound from Team 1, or outbound here from Team 1. T1 Jesters online, forcing back this horde of Aurora. There is a T1 AA online. Will rip through that gunship pretty quickly. So nothing super to fear, but a couple of tanks will die because of it. We don't see a lot of aggressive T2 units, bombers, whether they're Nothas or Janus, whatever the case may be. So we don't see any of them yet. But Obesity is severely wounded. He needs to get into the water sooner rather than later. Those tanks are out of range. That could be very close to the red here for Obesity. He needs to get out, and tanks trying to line up and stop the movement of that comm. Tries to avoid some artillery fire from a Lobo. But there are some units inbound here from his teammate of Maximus to try and assist. Martin and Obesity might just be sharing a home here pretty soon in the water. And that is Obesity knocked out of the fight. He isn't knocked out of the fight yet, but he is in the water. So that is a lot of fire just sitting there for the time being. In the east, we have T1 and T2 PD trying to hold off the combined push outbound from Godzilla, Potato, and Signal Winner. Signal Winner doing a pretty good job of covering for his teammate of Potato, but both are Cybran versus a UEF, and of course UEF PD is far superior to Cybrans. T1 PD is essentially on par with everyone, but T2 Triads way better than the tickle cannons of the Cerberus. We see a force outbound trying to just cut off any sort of reinforcements here from Team 2. We do see Martin going for torp launchers against the T1 facility, upgrading the T2 immediately. A very interesting move here between these two players. I did mention that somebody will probably put in it. Did not expect it this way, but it works. T1 Jesters outbound from the purple player of Cole, trying to, again, force back the 2 comms here for Team 2. RNA is constantly PD creeping. The gunships are going after, I don't know what they're going after. They should be going after Intel, could be going after PD. They're just going to keep going in. Actually, sorry, not interceptors. The interceptors for Team 2 are going after the gunships for Team 1. For some reason I thought anyway, the gunships have been killed off regardless. So I had like a brain fart there for a second. Even if the colors are essentially, the darker colors versus the lighter colors, I still confuse them once in a while. So apologies for that. Lots of naval buildup here for both of these players. 2 facilities versus 3. I would not be surprised to see T2 here pretty soon. That one is upgrading to T2 as we speak, so that would be a huge advantage for the Cyber player of Cole. And again, that UEF player of RNA is still pushing forward. Stealth on the way here for Godzilla. Almost done with that. Probably go for Nano next. Going for repairs for the current moment. And RNA going to establish a nice firebase. And what I love about this is going to be his main firebase, and then he can still retreat to PD to protect himself. So good move on using layered defenses here out from RNA. And we see the forces from Martin pushing against those out from Obesity. Obesity does have T2 Mongies. They have a nice amount of range on board, but the units for Team 2's Maximus are actually out of position. If Team 1 really wanted to charge, they could have. These are Tin 4 Auroras. We do see Wuka inbound going after them, specifically overcharge immediately into those units. Going to get some reclaim in while he's just standing there. Would love to see at least some stealth maybe on board just to assist with not being spotted so much. And, of course, he does have range. It does look like it's going to be a 2v1 here pretty soon. And Team 1 has claimed the northwest corner away from Maximus. Units are moving in. A lot of T1 artillery are going to be able to take out those T1 PD that don't eat. Well, there's one up there, so not really a whole lot of worry in that regard. And Team 2 is on the back foot. They do have a T2 Navy in the middle producing Coopers. So essentially will force out any sort of nonsense in the water for the time being. And RNA still trying to keep his base online. Would love to see, he does have T2. Would love to see maybe just one T1 just assist with any sort of defense. It's nice to have one of each. But Strap Bomber outbound from Team 2's base. There it is. It's going straight for RNA. Going to take out that shield. Oh, doesn't take out the shield generator. Takes out some defenses, but gets the shield generator online. That was a huge missed opportunity. Corsairs are inbound. Both are targeting RNA. He's spamming up T1, as I mentioned he should do. Gunships are inbound. Where is Team 1's air support? Here they are. They're inbound from 3 different players, himself and the 2 air players. Not actually, Wuka isn't even an air player. The air player in the south here for Chicken and Wuka as well. They will deal with those Corsairs. And that bomber looks like it has fled, but there's a lot of interceptors chasing it. Does take out 2 more T2 Mexes. I think they were T2. Yep, they're both T2, but wasn't terrible. Could have been way worse. That shield could have come offline and severely damaged that comm. I don't think he would have died, but it would have been close. It would have been very, very bad. We do see missile creep starting to come online for Potato as well, trying to force back Team 1's frontline position here for RNA. But now it's back and forth in the northwest for both of these teams. One team isn't really getting a strong hold over the middle. We do see the northwest corner is owned by Team 1 now. And Team 2 just got their T2 naval headquarters online. This one has already been online, and he's going for cruiser first, not destroyer first. Very, very interesting. More engineer support being online to be able to assist. Actually, no, he went for sub-killers first. Very, very interesting. Wants to conquer the waters with torpedoes first. There's only a couple of T1 torpedoes. Definitely will give the advantage here to Team 1 for the time being. More missiles raining in on that position. That shield is starting to fall. PD and TMD are being built. There is a tactical missile launcher, the Aloha. I love how it's named Aloha because it's hello and also goodbye. Whoever made the name for that, very good pick, because you're saying, hello, I have a missile for you, and then it destroys the target and says goodbye. Kill it with a mobile missile launcher, says Chicken. He's going for... Okay, if he's not going... He's going for destroyer, not cruiser. So that's weird. He is going for cruiser next. He's just building a couple of destroyers for protection. I kind of understand that, but I feel like cruiser would be far more superior, at least for the time being. He already has a Cooper online, so I don't understand the strategy right now. Maybe it'll materialize that around, but Nano is almost online here for Team 2. And there it goes. That will be a nice force for Team 2 on the front line with a lot of missiles. More TMD has to be constantly spammed up. Of course, when they're shot down, they break off. So there's still some fire. There's still some damage that rains on that shield. The shield does need, I think, a second shield to help offset. There are a couple of parashields in the mix, T2 mobile shields, but still needs a couple more, I think just a couple more parashields or just one more T2 shield, and that should be fine. Torp bombers online here for HTTP, going after anything and everything in the water. ASF nearby will clear those up real quick. And now we see that cruiser with dual Barracuda force. We have engineers repairing Barracudas on the front line. I haven't seen that ever. But very interesting. And a Torp launcher defense as well. I don't know if that's the best call. Having one's kind of nice to have online, but Torp launchers are really not great in terms of PD, in terms of defenses. They're just not. So, I mean, harms are good, but that's really about it. It's only meant for like 1 or 2 kills versus, other PD can get a lot more out of it. But we see just missiles and missiles and missiles. RNA needs another shield. He has his own missile outbound. Where is it going? It's going into the rear, attacking some T2 P-Gens, kills one of them off. is going for the second one here against Obesity, trying to eliminate his ability to regenerate power. TMD does come online at the last second, but he is struggling with power. Just with that one pigeon kill, he just crippled that that player's power and eco for a little bit in general, because if you don't have enough power, you don't produce as much mass and that sort of thing. The combo of Godzilla is going to charge forward with his gun and nanocom. Going to take out a couple of Team D. That will force RNA back. He's going for a second shield as we speak. But that Cyber Com is not letting up. T2 Skyboxers being spammed up, and T1 Bombers are in support. Where are they going? They're going after the units themselves. Yeah, it looks like they're going after the Vipers themselves. We'll kill a couple of them. Actually, one walks into the fire. That not recommend that. Not the best idea. RNA still has his shield emitter online, but those Team D are falling very, very quickly. RNA trying to build more PD to force back that com. The com of Potato still on the green, but is slowly falling into the yellow, so it's kind of teetering back and forth. Is 90 hit point a second region, and now T2 Riptides online here for Martin. Going to clear out this facility. Obesity trying to do what he can, but it's not long for that world. Team 2's Godzilla also gets into the Navy. Very interesting. And that naval fight hasn't commenced yet, but we do see that cruiser is online. There is a zapper nearby to be able to defend, and more of them are being built as we speak. More Barracudas are being built to defend, and it's not looking good. And is a redirect on board? No, I feel like that missile was. Hold on, is that a redirect? There is a redirect. I didn't even notice that. There is cruiser redirect. So very, very interesting. The Loyalist was the only one that I knew that could do that. I didn't notice the cruiser could do that. Is that a new thing? Let me know down in the comments if that's a new thing, because I don't think that's a new... Maybe that's a new thing, or maybe I just didn't notice. I don't know. But I feel like that's kind of a new thing. Anyway, shield did end up falling down for RNA. Like I said, he probably should have built a second one, but he has held his position for a little bit. He wants to keep his gains here in this eastern side. Team 1 and 2 haven't really faced off with their massive Team 1 armies as of yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it in a couple of minutes. We have T2 Air and T3 Air, of course, for these two rearguard air players here. So T2 as well. A lot of players on Team 2 have gone T2 Air, at least for torpedoes, or torpedo bombers slash Corsairs slash gunships, whatever the case may be. Of course, we have T2 online here for the naval player, 2 T3, and that's it. So Team 2 focusing a little bit more on air, Team 1 focusing a little bit more on ground. It'll depend on how it works. Might favor one player or the other, but those Barracudas ripping through those units here. You can see they're just, they're eating apart that Cooper. Cooper has torpedo defense, but it can only deflect so many. There go. He is down. The defender will be, the destroyer will be next. The Valiant. We do see some artillery fire inbound for the TMD, and that Valiant does kill off the Zapper, but the horde of T1 Mantis Spam now moving into the east, probably to take out a couple of those T1 Mechs. And in the east, we see a bunch of engineers drop down. He is going spamming up the naval facilities. Very, very interesting to actually see that. Usually it's just one-off facilities, but not that much support, especially when you see the horde of T2 Vipers just constantly raining in those missiles. We have RNA cannot keep his position online for very much longer. He's spamming up TMD. I think they're going straight for his comm. Yeah, they are. They could go after the Aloha. It's at 2 vet right now. It's a lot more. It's going to hurt. The artillery inbound here looks like that was a... Was that T3 or was that T2? Oh, it is T3. It's from the east. It is a trebuchet. That will force back RNA. And this position is going to fall very, very... Just the missile spam was just too much. And that is the power of missile spam. It's just fire bases, unless you have a really good one to start off with and some artillery. And it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. Still nothing in the northwest. Team 2 has reclaimed the northwest corner. Walls have been built to say no crossing that line. This looks like a Maximus will abide by that for the time being. And we are approaching the 21-minute stage in the 20-ish minute stage in this game. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win. Team 1 and 2 have 55 to 45% map control. Maybe it's 50-50 given the corner. Both teams have all of their players left. Let's see if they can all make it to 30 minutes. 90+% of the time, one player at least at a minimum dies before 30. And I think it's like 70 something. Maybe it's 80 dies before 20 minutes. So they made it past the 80%. We'll see if it makes it past the 90%. But again, let me know down in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for all of the support. Please like and, of course, comment not just about who you think is going to go in, but however you feel about life and FAF and my casting, whatever the case may be. I will love to hear from you. I'll love to respond to you. Thank you so much for those who do, and for those that have been not doing, for those that choose not to. I love to hear from you, and if you choose not to, that's also perfectly fine. And of course, hit that subscribe button, and of course, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. In the southeast, we see that Navy is crushing the UEF fleet here from Cole. Cole is just pushing into this base. Once the T2 naval facility falls, I'd say that's essentially the naval side won here for Team 1. There could be some, fight coming back. There could be a way to come back, but it will take a while. There's like a stealth facility online over here, but I don't see that anytime soon. T1 torp bombers, torp launchers trying to be spammed up, but that facility is going down. And one solitary mantis is in range to target that facility, and there it goes. It is down. Engineers are stuck in the water, and that's going to be a victory here for Team 1. So Team 2 controls the northwest, Team 1 controls the southeast, and we do see a lot of pushback here from Potato. He's trying to clear out the remnants of that RNA base, and now he's going to constantly push southward. We have some bombers and actually a brick inbound here. Did get transported from that transporter over there, which got transported on the transporter. And we have a bunch of spearheads just raining missiles in. Probably not the best idea to charge spearheads, or charge a brick with spearheads, because they can't really have direct fire. That's one spearhead down. You could have kept them back. Team 1 bombers raining in. Second spearhead down. There goes that brick finally, but that was two spearheads that probably did not need to die. You could have pulled them back. The comm would have been enough to hold off that one brick, but we do see the artillery and missile push in the east from Team 2's Potato. We have his naval base in the middle. So Team 1 is not completely the master of the seas yet. Team 2 has a facility online. Ooh, a transport gets killed off by artillery. That's always got to hurt. I feel like a couple of those clean cameras could benefit from some T1 PGens. But there isn't T2 yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see, probably with the amount of build power, and there are some hives being built, I would not be surprised to see this one be the T2 naval headquarters and start spamming up some of those cruisers. They aren't UEF or Seraphim, which means they don't have the missiles. But anything is better than nothing, especially in this game. ASS from Team 2 trying to just own the skies here. And that's a decent amount of air forces here for Team 2. I don't see a lot from Team 1. More interceptors and a couple of Corsairs rather than ASF. You see, there is a couple of squadrons here for Chicken, so they're not out of it just yet. But Team 2 definitely holds a better end of the deal here for ASF support. There is a Colossus online in the northwest, but against some Tuckle cannons, that's the percentage chance of those cannons winning is 99.999%. No. There's always that 1% where the Colossus just sits there and then dies, but that's very, very low chance. Artillery raining into RNA's base. He has a couple of spearheads online. I don't remember what their maximum range is. They can attack everything in the yellow. And the artillery here for Team 2 is barely out of that range. They can hit everything in that yellow. So all they have to do is move a couple of meters closer, and they'll take out that artillery base. It does look like that Colossus is trying to secure the northwestern corner for his team. We have a couple, are those Oblivions or Miasma? I think they're Oblivions being built underneath shield coverage. I'd love to see the shield being built first. That way the PD don't get taken up by any rogue missiles or whatever the case may be before the shield is on the line. T2 Navy is online. And wouldn't be surprised to see, of course, maybe some Salems walking out of this cove here. That'd be very interesting. Or maybe just some cruisers, and we do see some AA and some Team D to protect that facility. So love to see the teamwork outbound from Team 2, Signal Winner, and Potato covering for one another. Missiles raining in all over the place. Look at these things just constantly flying every which way after those bricks. Bricks constantly on the move to avoid that incoming fire. Some shots are hitting them, but it is few and far between. T1 bombers are trying to do their best to deal with those bricks, but Potato just constantly bobbing and weaving here. Team 1 needs some more gunships at the minimum to be able to deal with that sort of threat a lot easier. The cruisers, of course, for the Cyberans can target ground units. They're not great at it, Their shots kind of missed. They kind of hit, but artillery starting to come online here for BJ to try to force back these units. Artillery will miss, but I think they were going after anything and everything in the water, regardless of what it actually was. And with bricks, AA, and missiles online, this is a nice force. Team 1's RNA does not have the force to be able to repel this amount of aggression outbound from Potato. You could easily run this position over, just wants to do it at range. Don't blame the guy. That is the best way to save casualties, is just fire at range with a couple of sniper rifles or missile launchers or artillery, whatever the case may be, and not really worry about losses because you're far away from your opponent. But if your opponent has long range technology, then it kind of isn't great. Field is coming online. He should definitely invest in artillery. I don't know why he's not, but maybe he's focused on other things. He is getting a nice AA base online over here to prevent any sort of transport nonsense. But the Salem is online, and those missiles are raining in all over the place. That brick might look like he... Oh, no, it's right out of range. Still at 1,100 hit points. Those spearheads are being chewed through. Has some Percys now online. And more bombers inbound here from him as well. He only has a T1 facility, but if you're just going to spam bombers, that's not a bad way to go. They're going to target... Hopefully they target the artillery first, and yes, they do. That artillery isn't moving. Oh, and some of those shots Smith does take out one of them. Almost took out the second, and the third one took half health. But not bad. Not great, but did force them back a little bit and keep them out of range of that firebase here for RNA. 27 minutes in this game, knock on wood, but it does look like no one is going to die currently before that 30-minute mark. Team 1 has fought back with their own crab, but now 2 Colossi are inbound, and I will take that 2 Colossi over 1 crab any day, unless those Colossi don't engage. But if they engage the brick force like this, not the best idea. You need to either send them in, at this direction versus this direction. They can shoot at the higher targets or the higher value targets first without any fear of being retaliated. But there it goes. First Colossus in range. Second Colossus in range. That crab needs to keep walking back, or that Colossi will chew him up. Even if both Colossi are down, the amount of forces dying here on this northwest corner will look like Team 2's victory, and they'll gain a decent amount of reclaim. First Colossus is down. HT... Hold on. Usually when we see a player control K for no apparent reason, it's usually a connection issue or something happened. Let's see. I usually pause it and look at the chat for a little bit. The crab does start walking back a little bit, but here come the Harbingers to help assist, and there is a Fat Boy as well, so that crab is going to lose that fight. We'll gain the Colossus some veterancy here for that. There goes the comm of HTTP, and before 30 minutes, someone does vacate. I think I jinxed it there, but Team 2... 6 players left. Team 1 at 5 players left. Team 2 does have the advantage for players left alive, but I feel like for HTTP, that's not a kill. That's probably a departure. Let's see, is there any lost button or lost bottom, crab, T2? Now, there's no conversation in chat about it. Maybe they're on comms on Discord or something, but that's definitely... it's always a disappointment to see someone leave in that way, but T3AA, not T3AA, T3ASFs are under the control of RNA. I would love to see him just give those over to Chicken because he's microing the ASFs a little bit more. But here they come. Those ASFs are engaging those bombers, and that was definitely just a nice veiled, not scapegoat, but target to go after. The ASFs, they could easily assist this force, but they're not. Oh, it's definitely a missed opportunity there. But Team 1, they might have enough. Monkey comes in, takes out the second Colossus, and the Fat Boy will kill off the Monkey. And the ASFs for Team 2 are beat back. Very surprising. I felt like Team 2 had the superior force, but I guess the better turns were resided with Team 1. ASFs online from Cole as well. We have 3 different players have access to ASFs. One of those players has 2 air facilities, and one's UEF and one is Cybran. Remember, Team 1 does not have access to Aeon or Seraphim technology, so their game enders are limited, their ground experimentals are limited, and essentially everything is limited, but essentially the game enders and the experimentals are the main 2 things. Nuke online here for Team 2. Touch My Berries just finished a building, loading as we speak, getting a nice air grid built. Love to see that. We have a secondary air grid being built by Team 2's Obesity, and another air grid, and another. That's a lot of air grids. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different air grids. Actually, this is a mass FAP one. This is not an air grid, but still 4 different air grids. 2 of them are pretty close together, but not too bad. Nukeable says Signal Winner. Yeah, that would be a good position to solidify Team 2's gain over the pond here, but the T2 naval facility has been knocked out and reclaimed. It does look like artillery fire essentially is what did them in. We can see the range on these things. No, barely. No. Wasn't artillery fire. I don't know what it was, but it's definitely gone. It was there. That's why the hives are there. But Fat Boy trying to push back Team 1 on this western side, doing a great job of it. That Colossus coming in, going to be able to secure this nice reclaim field of 2 Colossi, a monkey, and a crab. That's a decent haul of reclaim. Currently, it is valued at 84,000, and there is a monkey lord coming online to go after that Colossus. Monkey lord is now in range, but that monkey is not going to win. It's just going to be a diversionary tactic, or at least a hold-off tactic here for now. Team 1 is losing the western side. Team 2 obviously has control of the water, but it doesn't even look like BJ is going to really fight it, because there's not a lot of... Actually, there's no units where there's just a couple of engineers. But Team 1 definitely has the bigger fleet, and they have T3 Navy. I would be very surprised to not see Cole go for just one strat sub, missile sub, nuke sub, and just launch a nuke on the edge, maybe after Potato, maybe after something else. You could probably get in. That SMD's online. You can probably get it maybe to this base up here in the northeast. Just mass fabs being built in the northeast as well. You just scale that eco. Continental online drops off. I think a couple of Harbingers, whatever the case was. ASF's engaged. 2 players ASF versus 2 players ASF between both of these teams. The ASF's here for Team 1's RNA, still hanging out. But that Colossus and Fat Boy combo is still pushing. Crab is online. Colossus is in the yellow. The Team 2 has to be kind of careful with that. That Fat Boy is still moving. It's dropped pretty low. Sub 4,000 hit points. Is wrapping up pretty nicely, though, at 100 hit points a second. Team 1's ground forces coming out from Martin are moving in north to assist with defenses, and more engineers are being just thrown on the front line to scoop up all that eco. We can see a couple of T3 been hoisted forward to be able to assist with that. But that crab is in range of that Colossus, and that Colossus, unless he can get out of range, which I don't think he will just die off in that reclaim field. And you can see that's the range. And of course the crab is definitely still in range. So yeah, that's not going to be good. And the Fat Boy's now in range as well. AA Cougars inbound to be able to assist. They're taking out some AA for their team. Taking out some of those air forces, and there goes that first Fat Boy down. Second Fat Boy is in range of that megalith, but one being down. That's still a lot of mass to reclaim between both of these teams. Does look like Team 1 will have the slight advantage in that, and a couple of Harbingers deal with some of the facilities for Team 1, but not a lot. A couple of mass points were taken out, but that's a lot of mass to be compensated if Team 1 were to grab that position. Team 2 has kind of been quiet on this eastern front, which begs the question, what are they doing? If a player is usually quiet, it's either because they have nothing left or they're being sneaky. And the nuke is not really it's kind of being loaded, but it's being loaded a little slowly. And more mass fabs, of course, being built constantly. ASFs are going to engage once again. Lots of broadswords trying to chew through the hit points on that crab, and a new Colossus is online. And that crab is going to die. Bez will just back it up a little bit. ASFs constantly engaging one another. The broadswords actually just ignored for the most part, and Team 1 will retain air control. And will they have air dominance? I feel like they will. There's a couple of AA facilities in around, but not a lot. That is definitely air dominance here for Team 1, and they will be happy with that. They lost the crab, easily be able to scoop up here by Team 2, but they do have a crab and a Colossus and a couple other things to scoop up as well. The both teams doing very good with the reclaim. Team 2, of course, at 140,000. A lot of it because of that. Team 1 is about at 100,000. Both teams at 1.9k mass per second, and Team 1 barely ahead in the total mass at about 30,000 more, which is about a chicken's worth of mass. Not a lot, But again, it's something. It's better than nothing. SMD is coming online here. I think Team 1 might have spotted that nuke. That is Team 2. Team 1 definitely knows about that nuke. So, and if we zoom out all the way, it's not a super big map. It's probably about a 15 by maybe even a 14 or 13 by 13. But for 12 players, not a lot of room. It's not a lot of room to do stuff. So a lot, it's going to be very tightly packed. If you take one base, you might be able to take another one, kind of thing. So it's very important that every team member clogs up any holes very, very quickly. The naval side of things isn't really a huge threat, but that Galaxy is online and is moving in. BJ's on that coastline. It is not going well. 34, almost 35 minutes, and he is going for nuke sub. Look at that. He's going for a plan B. Haha, I was right. Why isn't he building it on the... That's really weird. Don't know why he isn't building it on that one, but whatever. Does not matter. T1 bombers inbound for this massive fire base, going after shields, going after whatever they can. The shields are going to stay online, and all the AA is in the back, which means the planes fly over, the Air Forces, whatever, fly over, gunships, and they come into range of that AA, and they can't really get out of it. So good move. I would like to see some up here, but we do see more missile spam constantly raining in here from Team 2. They're not changing up that strategy, and we do see the artillery is raining in over here as well. So it's not really super viable anymore, especially with RNA changed up his tactics a little bit, going after static artillery and forcing back those groups of missile launchers. We do see a nice little soothsayer online here for Signal Runner, and this is the vision he can see. A ton of the map just came back online, or just got online, one of the two. And that battleship is actually in range and is killing all of the support around that thing. That soothsayer is not going to stay online for very much longer, but they will enjoy some nice vision for the time being. ASFs in the north just ripping through the ASFs here for Team 2. That is still air dominance. More AA facilities are being spammed up, and it does look like transfer of control, hold on, was given over to Team 2's Touch My Berries. We might see a departure here from Maximus, because he gifted everything over except for a couple of units. Maybe he's thinking of just gifting you over to load the nuke better. We'll see. If he does control K, we should see that message here pretty soon. Maybe he just wanted to gift it over to one specific player and call it good. Kind of interested to not see Obesity get that, because he is on that front line. But a lot of these players playing very defensively. Really only Maximus and the red players in the west, either that being HTTP earlier or Wuka, being really aggressive. The Naval was kind of aggressive, but kind of really sided with Team 1. Maximus builds an experimental. I'm assuming that was gifted over because he's not really building anything. We see some T3 SACUs. Are these Rambos? They are Rascoms. They're scooping up stuff. That fat boy's taking some hits. And if that thing doesn't move, that thing is going to die. Shield is trying to reach in as fast as it can. But those Gunthers are ready to fire once again. They're not targeting the same thing. Now, I wonder what hit it. Was it a missile launcher maybe? And the ability of the Fat Boy to be able to refuel and repair those ASFs, very, very vital. Don't see it really used a whole lot, because usually a Fat Boy's moving and Fat Boy's in territory, and ASFs aren't really sitting there over the top of it. But, it is good to see the different features of different experimentals used. Because not everyone uses the Fat Boy factory. No one ever really uses the Tempest factory. But those are features that you do have access to. So I don't know, it's just kind of hard. We see a missile launcher inbound. That is from the Plan B. That is pinged probably by Team 2, I would assume. Actually, no, it's pinged by Team 1. I wonder what they're doing about that. Max, give me GC, says touch my berries. And Fat Boy versus Fat Boy fire. That will force the Fat Boy back of Team 2. That is going to die. Unfortunately, the Gunthers will assist with that. That's not going anywhere. First Fat Boy is down. Second Fat Boy still trying to get out of dodge. Team 2 still gains some control over the northwest corner, but a couple of mexes isn't really control. It's just hanging out. Nice group of SR-90 Blackbirds, and there are some broadswords as well. Love the I don't know what it is, but a lot of the designs for the UBF were very on point. The SR-71 Blackbird, very, very useful during the Cold War. For spying and the whatnot. That's essentially the model that they went after, except a little bit more futurized. I do like the way it looks in real life, though. It's just like the way the engines or the wings kind of not fold, but they curve a little bit. It's really cool. I really love it. If you haven't seen a picture of it, go look up SR-71. I think there was a story where I think it was Nixon. Like the project was unveiled, and it was originally called SR-17, but he named it, or accidentally ad-libbed and said SR-71, so they had to go back and change the plans. I think that's... I heard that story one time. I don't know if that's true or not. Fact check me if I'm wrong. But I think that's the actual story of why it's called 71 instead of 17. I think it's like spy reconnaissance. Version 17 is essentially what it stands for. We see a couple of whalers going after some of those galaxies, and those galaxies do not really have some support. There is one cruiser inbound, and ASF's coming in to deal with those whalers. Those whalers bit off probably a little bit more than they can chew. Probably didn't think that Team 1's naval player would respond that way. There's not a lot going on in the Navy besides that Plan B, which is still there. If it's on screen, oh, no, that's a Barracuda. Is it killed on? It can't leave the water. Another one's being built. Oh, it's just down here in the corner. It's just loading a nuke. So that definitely going to be interesting if Team 1 uses that to great effect. Team 2 definitely needs more SMD, but they have their own nuke. It's stationary, and it is more powerful. And that nuke is about to load. So at almost 40 minutes in this game, we'll see the first nuke firing, and a group of Titans are inbound for that front line. Would have loved to see some Perseus in that mix, but we will take Titans, Cougars in the mix as well. Trying to charge this frontline base here for Team 2's Obesity. A lot of those shots missed due to the environment, but here they come. They move pretty quickly. There's some Mongeese online. Those are going to be ripped through very, very quickly. The Titans need to constantly be pushing eastward here to be able to take out. There's a lot of mass fabs, a lot of T2. I think those are T3 mexes. Actually, yeah, those looks like T3 mexes. Titans ripping through defenses, ripping through whatever they can. Transports being taken out. Going after this position over here in the north. And there goes the nuke. What did it go after? Zoom out a little bit. It's going after... Don't know what it's going after. Down here? Oh, it's going down for maybe this position. Martin moves out of the way. Probably should have built SMD. SMD is nearby. That is almost loaded. Oh, and it's not going for Martin. It's going for this base to the west. Will that SMD come online? Oh, it's gonna be... Oh, it gets fired up. Whoa, 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 whoa. There it goes. Martin's like, what the heck? That's this chicken. SMD loads at the last second, too, so it probably would not have been able to save that base. But thanks to the red, the Guardian from Wuka, that was... been able to save that base. But that's not the first time I've seen the SMD just go wild going after that missile. It would suck to have an SMD loaded, it fires and misses the nuke, and then essentially nuke goes off because the SMD couldn't hit it. It with artillery has touched my barrier. Ooh, ooh. Wuka has a Scathis being built, and there is... What artillery? Team 2. That was outbound from Team 2. What artillery? Oh, no. That's just... Oh, there it is. And it just got finished off. There we go. Team 2 has long-range technology and is going for laser at the same time. So planning ahead there in that regard. And this position here... Oh, nope, sorry. This position here does have another shield, a couple of them on the line, and we'll start receiving some fire. That's a lot of pigeons that are not shielded. And pings do go down, probably from Team 2 to target that. Kill the pigeons first. All will explode. Definitely a nice tip from Maximus. I think Maximus maybe had to go or something. That's where he handed everything over. And there it is. There's the beauty. The YOLO Super Nuke, the experimental missile launcher, is coming online. It's going to tick over into the yellow here pretty soon. That is Team 2. Does Team 1 know about it? Yes, they don't, but it does get pinged. They do see the square of units and constantly streaming in, so they probably think it's either artillery or game ender, whatever the case may be. That is a clue for a lot of players. If you don't notice, if you see a large group of just engineers or whatever the case may be surrounding something, probably something bad. It could be a Colossus, could be an experimental in general, but also could be a game ender. So get some vision over that and confirm for sure. And there go the pigeons, and the Scathis does end up being destroyed. The shields were not enough. Oh, takes out another shield and a couple of T1 bombers, but yeah, that Scathis needed more shield. Telelaser, the signal runner. And I think that's what Wuka's going for. Transfer of everything given over to Team 1's chicken from Wuka, and either he will depart from the game or he will stay in and just build a telesnipe. Usually that's transferred after you die, but there is a Billy Nuke, I think is what that was. Outbound hit from Team 1. That is outbound not from Martin, so it'd be another UEF. Oh, it's outbound from RNA at 11,000 mass killed. Make TMD, says Potato. Yes, make TMD. That is a lot of TMD. Oh, that's a lot of TMD there, Potato. 54 TMD, and there's even more back there. That is a lot. Oh my, that's a lot of TMD he's built. And it's kind of quiet a little bit. Fat Boy kind of raining in here from the north. Wuka's still building whatever he's building. You would think that he would just build. He had a couple of P-gens or some mass extractors to be able to just skyrocket that upgrade, but he's not moving. So if he dies there, we know where he died. Just do artillery fire. Artillery fire now running into the air grid here for Chicken. Chicken has a nice factory and has some interlaced some shields from the UEF and some Cybran. Love to see the mix of technology here by Team 1. And the shield is not super pretty. The Seraphim shield is the best looking shield in my opinion. In terms of the shield itself, not the shield emitter, not the capacity. I'm just talking about just the physical visual representation of the shield. It is the prettiest, and then it goes UEF, and then it goes Cybran, and then it goes Aeon. Aeon shields are just too dark. Let's see if I can get. Is there an Aeon shield? There should be Aeon. Oh yeah, Aeon shields are just too dark. Especially these are the T3, right? Well, the T2 are a little bit worse, but yeah, I just don't like the way that it makes. Like if I get like a nice screenshot, it makes the seems super dark. The Cybran one isn't bad. It's more purplish blue, not terrible. And then the UEF is very similar to the Seraphim, except it's more like a very hint of blue, but it's very see-through. And then of course the Seraphim one is like very light blue, kind of like the Tropical Ocean blue, with that little pulsing effect. I do love the shielding in this game. It's obviously you need it always. There's no instance where you don't need it. If you think you don't need it, you're gonna die to something. And Godzilla Potato gets control. Wait, hold on. What? Looks like there was some gunships that went in from Team 1's air player of Chicken, and Potato did not control K. He died to P-gens exploding next to him. Definitely not the best place to stand there, my friend. And he has his own artillery online, so that's going to hurt. And somebody's getting a satellite online. But those gunships are being attacked by Team 2's superior air force in terms of numbers. And there they go. It's still raining in. Going to go after everything. And all of the... that's just got to hurt. That has just got to hurt. Just all the planes dying, all the whatnot. And a lot of that air grid is going down here for Team 2 Signal Runner. Most of those... gunships are now dead, but that was a huge win, and Wilka has been defeated by Obesity. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen sooner rather than later. Does look like the air grid does go down here for Team 1's air player of Chicken, but does have a secondary one down here, so he's not completely out of luck just yet. Do they have a counter for that YOLO? Do they know about the YOLO specifically? They still don't know anything. Definitely a missed opportunity to get some vision. The YOLO is almost online, and that missile will load very, very quickly. Team 1 is now on the back foot. I felt like they had a decent advantage for the in the beginning and mid game, but late game they did kill off their Team 2's highest rated player. But Team 1, that YOLO is gonna not feel good here pretty soon. They're not building any sort of game ender as well. Their Scathus was killed off earlier on. They do have one Duke online. I heard some explosions in the distance. More gunships are inbound, just taking out whatever BJ had left. He went for satellite. That was stopped in his tracks. There's nothing building around that. It is a 5v4 in favor of Team 2. Essentially, the main powerhouse here for Team 1 is the Naval player here for Cole. He has a couple of those Plan Bs, and he is spam loading that nuke, those strategic missiles, submarines as fast as he can. There's some mass fabs that are not shielded. Those looks like they're targets here for that artillery. Team 2 has access to 2 artilleries, one from the deceased Potato, one from Signal Runner. He's almost done with a second one, so 3rd in total. And with the YOLO online, that does not bode well for Team 2 survivability in this game. They have a regular nuke, a nuke, and 3 artillery soon. Team 1 has 1 artillery. Not 1 nuke, Not a whole lot. They're building a second one as we speak, but there it goes. The nuke is launched. It's going straight for this position. Just run. Nope, nope. That's from Team 1. Dropping short, going after RNA. RNA, do you have SMDs? You have 4 of them loaded, so 2 YOLOs will be able to be deflected. We have a couple of Percys raining in as well, going after whatever they can, targeting anything and everything of value. There's the second nuke. It's launching, going for the same position, so no, the super nuke will be deflected just due to the fact, not the super nuke, the regular nuke will be deflected, the super nuke will not, just due to the fact that that second nuke inbound will be taken out. Does look like RNA is still trying to use his Billy nuke to his advantage. Does get some defenses on that northern ridge. That gets taken out, but he has to move. That artillery is raining in on his position, combined with the nuke, and combined with the fact that the SMD is not going to load in time for that second YOLO to be shot off. And actually, it's going to be diverted to the west, going after this position. There is an SMD. There is 2 loaded, so that YOLO will be deflected. Definitely a missed opportunity here for Team 2. Not going after the same target. How is the missiles being loaded down here? Well, there's 4 Plan Bs. One of them is 2/3 the way loaded. One of them is half. 2 of them are not loading. Team 1's goal is probably to assassinate SMD. There isn't one down south. They could easily get this disruptor. There's an SMD over here. I don't think that SMD covers that. No, it does not. They can easily edge that out. They're building a Mavor, or they stopped building it. They were building it, so they have a YOLO. That should be fine for now. And it's loading pretty quickly, so Team 1 needs to get on their SMD game, but it's not going well. They're loading another Duke up with some hit points and whatnot, some mass to build that second artillery piece, but I don't think that's going to finish very quickly due to the concentrated fire outbound from Team 2. Whalers are inbound, but they're killed off immediately. No real effort there. Not real effort. No real hope in that regard. Artillery is... wow, those... Very interesting there. Trying to shoot off screen. I don't see... how is the Dukes are still holding, but the shields are not. The Dukes are still online for the time being. SMD being heavily assisted here for Team 1. For RNA, he's getting a second one online, but I think it's a little too late in that regard. He needs so much more build power to be able to just spam load those things. And with 3 disruptors firing on 1 Duke, I don't think the shields are going to hold. Mass Fabs did get hit as well. Another nuke inbound here for Team 2, and it's going to land over here. 3 crabs, a fat point, and a monkey will die off. Nice line of Harbingers. Not really the best thing to do when you're facing off against a line of Ravagers, when you're just in a line. Not the best idea in that regard. SMD is being built here as well. Second one's about to load to protect himself here for Martin. Those units actually fall back to now intercept those Harbingers. They're not going to get a lot of damage done, unfortunately. Or at least, unfortunately, for Team 1. The shields are holding. There's a lot of shielding, and, of course, there is some kennels going to be built to probably assist those shields in that regard. Pings go down to go after that disruptor. That would have been a smarter idea sooner. Another nuke is launching. That position in the south. Kaboom! Takes out that. This position here for Martin will be fine for 1 YOLO. Second one, not so much. Fat boy down the middle here for Team 2. Going to be able to start chipping away at RNA's base. RNA. And how is the Dukes going? Well, they're still online, taking some hits, but still online. And more shielding are being built. It's close. Team 2 might be able to puncture through that, but they've done some work. Now 2 Dukes focusing on 2 disruptors. They should easily just focus on this one, eliminate one, and then move on to the other one. It's only 1 shield. It's only 1 UEF. It can easily take that out. And that YOLO is the main threat here for Team 1. They need to get that killed sooner rather than later. But there's a decent amount of shields. There's a stealth field gen as well. And that is not going to be loaded. Maximus actually just sitting right next to it, just because why not? Hanging out next to it. Are those battleships still there? Yes, they are. Because hang on the edge of glory. It's just funny that their icons are just like half of their boat is off the map, off the world. And there goes that YOLO, and it is going to kill off the comm up Martin. There he goes. Kaboom. It is now a 5v3 in favor of Team 2. The air grid in the south is still online. The shields around that Duke are falling. They're popping in and off, but one more hit, and that Duke is dead. T2 will be filled first, and then the T3 to protect it even more. I do love the layered approach for shielding, though. Doing T2 around it, and then T3 around that. Being able to, again, overlap shielding, very, very important. It does look like they took out both of the disruptors here for Team 2's Signal Runner, and now probably a lot more focus will be on the single disruptor. That was very close. I thought Team 2 would have been able to keep those online more, but I guess not. Monkey inbound to protect the Fat Boy. T2 artillery probably should focus on that Fat Boy. It should be in range. Oh, it is most definitely in range. They just can't see it. That's definitely a missed opportunity there. Where is the Omni? Oh, there goes another super nuke. It's going to hurt Team 1's eco. Team 1 needs a plan to come back in this game. The massive amounts of nukes being loaded in subs, not great. This one is still loading. This one just came off the line. This one is not loading. This one is, so he put the ones that are loaded over here. So he has 2 nuclear missiles loaded. The SMDs should now be the target, and now this one should be the only, well, there's one right here. There's 2 of them that needs to take out. Artillery is landing over there in the north. It's trying to just take out whatever's in that corner. Boo and Nuke landing, trying to take out that Monkey Lord. Did do a decent damage on that Monkey Lord, to be fair. And now ASFs for Team 2 is just raining in just anything and everything, essentially airlocking Team 1 from doing literally anything. But here come those gunships inbound. They're going to take out some of those engineers. They're going to go after whatever defenses lie on the coastline. And Team 1 is just suffering. They need more SMD, more being loaded. You only realistically need about 4 with massive assistance, and you'll be fine. That Fat Boy, though, is inbound, and it is targeting all of that artillery. We have broadswords inbound to try to deal with whatever they can. Essentially, they're just being thrown to the wolves at this point. They're taking out all of the AA. Great move here by those gunships. Taking out the pigeons as well, and the mass. Oh, there it goes. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. There goes. They lost a 3rd SMD. That's gotta hurt. Oh, and ASS for Team 2 are just running through everything. Yep, they are targeting all of the SMD support. The Mavor is being built, because why not? Lands right. Oh, the shots are missing. Team 1's getting pretty lucky. Sorry, Team 2 is getting pretty lucky, but 3 Dukes are online. Team 2 needs to punch through that front line, and that will be it. All of those gunships just rip through Cole's base. He has 2 Plan Bs online with 2. Well, he has 2 loaded. A 3rd one will be loaded, and that is going to hurt. Just missiles trying to rain in what they can. SMD on the east is being loaded. This SMD is being pretty well protected. Has 6 missiles loaded. Oh, but that fire is inbound. Oh, and it takes it out. There it goes. Massive amount of assistance should be on this SMD. You would think that they know what Team 1's angle is, going after all the SMD. There's the next one that needs to be taken out. And then there's one more, which is right here. And it has 4 loaded. The YOLO, again, is the main priority. Does Team 2 have another?
Strategic launch detected.
Do they have another disruptor? Oh, they do have a disruptor. They rebuilt this one. This one's actually severely... Oh, they didn't even take that one out. Oh, the Nuke is impound. It's going for the first... Wait, no, it's what? Oh, no, it's a standard Nuke. Oh, never mind. I thought it was one from the from those subs. Nope, it is a standard Nuke going after that position. That position is going to die. Oh, the shields are going down around that SMD. Oh, it's going to hurt. Obesity, you're not being hit, but... oh, the shielding needs to... Oh, engineer... Oh, there goes the nuke. Kaboom! Takes out that artillery. Oh, shields online just in the nick of time. Obesity takes a hit. Oh, this is not good for Obesity. More shields coming online. He's got to move out of range. And that is not going to go good here for Team 2 if that SMD does not go online. Another YOLO inbound. This one has none loaded. This one has none loaded. None of these are loaded. And none of those... Oh, that's not good here for Team 1. And none of those are loaded. That is not good there. Oh, nope, had one loaded. Oh, and there it goes. There goes the YOLO. And there goes all the SMD. There it goes. Kaboom.
Strategic launch
The comm
detected.
will die. He's definitely in range to die. Oh? No? No. He's not. Wow, that's very surprising. He was on the very edge of that. But most of those SMDs are down. There's one over here. That one's not loaded. Two loaded here. One loaded there. Gunship still raining in, trying to take out those pigeons to cause a cascade. Colossus to the north. Team 1, they had had somewhat of a way in with those sub nukes, but they're now moving into position. I'm going to pause it just briefly. We can show the range. Can't show the range. The red, it would have been very close. You can see, look at the red. They're moving in. It's going to be barely south of that. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Gunships just ripping through. Colossus ripping through. First Colossus is down. Second Colossus being chipped through. And there goes the YOLO on top of those Dukes, and there it goes. Ooh, kaboom. That is it. The last line of defense is Team 1's nuke silos, and the SMD is down, and the comm gets killed off as well, and the SMD. Oh, they got a consolation prize. A B-Sneak doesn't control K. He just got hit by lots of stuff. And there goes that YOLO. It's going to kill off pretty much everything else. More SMDs are being built, and 3 of them are loaded down here. So, is this going to go just straight for that? Oh, one SMD fires. Comm of Chicken is nearby. He might be in the blast radius. Let's see. Another nuke inbound. That one was loaded very quickly. Is that the regular nuke? No, that was the build. That was the super nuke as well. Huh. That got loaded very. Oh, there goes the comm. Let's see, does he die off? Nope. He does take some hits to his shield, but he's fine. Oh, but T2 Torps. Oh, that's gotta hurt. You gotta fire him. You gotta fire. There was 2 loaded. There was 2 loaded in that one. That's gotta suck here for Team 1's Cole. He had a nice thing going with those things, but I think Team 2 knew about it for a while. That is gonna hurt. More SMD are being built back there. Team 2 won it with that play of the YOLO for sure. It was essentially a stalemate in the northwest, and Team 1 had conquered that one. Oh, one nuke does get off. Very surprising. He's gonna go for something. And again, in this game, something's better than nothing. Of course, it will land. There's nothing to protect against it. And kaboom! Takes out all of that infrastructure. And here come Torp bombers. Aren't going to really take out anything on land, but they'll take out the Team 3 naval headquarters. I feel like at this point we can just speed this up to the end of the game. Nukes are raining in all the time. RNA, how are you not dead? You were essentially, I thought you were in range. And there goes the comm of Team 1's Cole by BJ's strap bomber. Actually, there was a nuke inbound for him specifically. Chicken is being pinged. It's now a 5v2. RNA inherits everything that Cole had. I feel like the departures are going to be issued here pretty soon. Nukes are constantly raining in. They're not going to stop. There they go. Once again, Maximus, he had to go deal with something or whatever, but he will just stand by that. Strap bomb is inbound for that comm, and we'll kill that comm off of Team 1's RNA by Touch My Berries, and it is now a 5v1 in favor of Team 2. And we just have another Plan B being taken out. And that is there. That's it. Nuke is going to land. Will Chicken evac? Will he control K? Will he die to Nuke? Whatever he does, this is it. I think we're going to slow it down and watch it in all of its glory. Wait 30 seconds, says Martin. Must be 60 minutes for an epic. Close enough. We're going to have a nice little wide shot. There's another nuke inbound artillery fire. Is it a headshot? Oh, it's pretty close to a headshot. There it is. Who will send this one to Guile, says Martin. And there it goes. Kaboom.
Strategic launch detected.
And there it is. 1 hour 6 minutes is technically called an epic. Thank you again so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the share button to share with anyone, everyone, and your pets. let's get on to MVPs and MUPs. And I feel like in this game, I have a couple choices. Cole did a very good job isolating Navy for his team in the southeast corner, and had a nice plan with those plan Bs. They just couldn't get that plan up and running, and Team 2 did have a nice way to deal with that. One nuke did get launched, but it's just sad to see. I think there were 5 or 4 nukes that could have been launched. So definitely a disappointment, and not a disappointment for him, just it's sad to see those nukes just be killed off like that. RNA should have, I don't know how he didn't die, but he somehow survived with his little SMD there still there. Very surprising in that front, but I think I might just have to give it the touch my berries for MVP. He built a nuke, which didn't really get used a whole lot. Probably could have funneled that mass into a faster YOLO, but still, the YOLO cemented Team 2's victory. Team 1 had a nice attack on the east. They took out Potato. And if it wasn't for that, Team 2 would have had a flawless victory because 1, 2... Actually, no. Team 2 lost another player, so it was a 4v1 at the end, or 4v2 at the end. Because, who was it? It was... Obesity ended up dying. But no, I think I give it to Touch My Berries. He did lose air earlier on, came back, built a huge, nice air grid, spammed as much mass fabs as he can. Of course, load that YOLO, and that's essentially what cemented Team 2's victory. Team 1 was going for an early, well, not early, but early-ish Scathis, which could have worked had there been more shields. And, yeah, more shields. That essentially would have saved it, at least for the little bit that it was online. But again, let me know down in the comments what you think. I picked Touch My Berries as my MVP here for this game. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I kind of right? Am I kind of wrong? Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. And again, thank you so much for all of the support. And I will see all of you in the next one.